like this question where they're like, oh, what are you going to do to make sure jobs stay in America? And then like he just rambles on about how he's given Man of the Year.
So we built a thing called the Panama Canal. We lost 35,000 people to the mosquito, malaria.
Yeah.
We lost 35,000 people.
And, yeah, it's wild.
We lost 35,000 people because of the
mosquito.
Vicious. They had to build under nets. It was one of the true great wonders of the world. As he said, one of the 9 wonders of the world. I was one of the 7. This happened a little while ago. You know, first 9 wonders of the world. You could make 9 wonders. He would have been better off if he stuck with the 9 and just said, yeah, I think it's 9.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to help with the algorithm, and consider sending a donation through YouTube Super Thanks to directly support the channel, and I'll make sure to reply. We have finally gotten to the point where Trump's speeches have become so rambly and so unhinged that now we are finally doing it. We are talking about Trump's mental decline. Never thought we would get to this day, but now that Biden has dropped out, dude. Yeah, there was the child care answer, which is so funny. I think it's no, it's not that one. That's just Trump calling it Marxist Kamala, Marxist, communist, fascist, socialist. This question where like they're like, what are you gonna do to bring? He's getting over Biden's mental was an well, that's why Biden dropped out. But like this question where they're like, oh, what are you going to do to make sure jobs stay in America? And then like he just rambles on about how he's given Man of the Year for like a minute. And then the child cancer was also super bad. I gotta just link to where he actually answers the question.
Impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that because look, child care is child care. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels they're not used to. But
his only answer, this is his only answer to everything is tariffs.
They'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll...
I don't know, this was another like horrible word salad ramble answer. All he says is tariffs, America first. Former President Donald J. Trump vividly recounted how the audience at his climactic debate with Vice President Kamala Harris was on his side, except that there was no audience. The debate was held in an empty hall. No one went crazy, as Mr. Trump put it, because no one was there. Anyone can misremember, of course, but the debate had just been a week earlier in a fairly memorable moment. And it was schooled on fake. Yeah, true. And it was hardly the only time Mr. Trump has seemed confused, forgetful, incoherent, or disconnected from reality lately. In fact, it happens so often these days that it no longer even generates much attention. He rambles, he repeats himself, he roams from thought to thought. Some of them hard to understand. Some of them seem some of them unfinished. Some of them factually fanatical. That's it's been the case for a while now, but he voices outlandish claims that seem to be made up out of whole cloth. He discresses into bizarre tangents about golf, about sharks, about his own beautiful body. He relishes a great day in Louisiana after spending the day in Georgia. He expresses fear that North Korea is trying to kill me, when he presumably means Iran. As late as last month, Mr. Trump was still speaking as if he were running against President Biden 5 weeks after his withdrawal from the race.
I really think I can't imagine New Hampshire voting for him. Anybody in New Hampshire, they're watching right now, but anybody in New Hampshire that votes for Biden and Kamala, I really think I call her a comrade, Kamala, because that's what her ideology is.
Nice one, buddy. With Mr. Biden out, Trump 78 is now the oldest major party nominee for president in history, and would be the oldest president ever if he wins and finishes another term at 82. Review Mr. Trump's rallies, interviews, statements, and social media posts. Find signs of change since he first took the political stage in 2015. He's always been discursive and has often been untethered to the truth. But with the passage of time, his speeches have grown darker, harsher, longer, angrier, less focused, more profane, and increasingly fixated on the past. According to a computer analysis by the New York Times, Mr. Trump's rally speeches now last an average of 82 minutes compared to 45 minutes in 2016. Proportionally, he uses 13% more all or nothing terms like always and never than he did 8 years ago, which some experts consider a sign of advancing age. Similarly, he uses 32% more negative words than positive words now compared to 21% in 2016, which can be another indicator of cognitive change. And he uses swear words 69% more often than he did when he first ran, a trend that could reflect what experts call disinhibition. Study by Stat Healthcare's News produced similar findings. Mr. Trump frequently reaches to the past for his frame of reference, often to the 1980s and 1990s, when in his tabloid field heyday. He cites fictional characters from that era, like Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lip. He meant Silence of the Lambs. Asked, "Where's Johnny Carson? Bring back Johnny," who died in 2005, and ruminates on how attractive Cary Grant was, the most handsome man. He asked his supporters whether they remember the landing in New York of Charles Lindbergh, who actually landed in Paris long before Mr. Trump was born. He seems confused about the modern technology, suggesting that most people don't have any idea what the hell a phone app is in a country where 96% of the people own a smartphone. If sometimes he seems stuck in the 1990s, there are moments where he pines for the 1980s, holding out. That decade was the Hagelin period of American history, and William McKinley as his model president because of his support for tariffs.
In the words of a great but highly underrated president, William McKinley, highly underrated, the protective tariff policy of the Republicans has
we got some things to read on tariffs today, too.
Made the lives of our countrymen sweeter and brighter. It's the best for our citizenship and our civilization, and it opens up a higher and better destiny for our people. We have to take care of our own nation and her industries first. In other words, take care of our country first. This is when we had our greatest wealth. He was assassinated.
And he heads off into rhetorical cul-de-sacs. So we built a thing called a Panama Canal, he told a conservative host Tucker Carlson last year. We lost 35,000 people to the mosquito, malaria. We lost 35,000 people building. We lost 35,000 people because of the mosquito vicious. They had to build under nest. It was one of the true great wonders of the world, as he said, one of the 9 wonders of the world. No, it was one of the 7. It just happened a little while ago. He says 9 wonders of the world. You could make 9 wonders. He would have been better off if he stuck with the 9 and just said, "Yeah, I think it's 9."
Malaria. Yeah. So we built a thing called the Panama Canal. We lost 35,000 people to the mosquito, malaria. Yeah. We lost 35,000 people.
It's wild.
We lost 35,000 people because of the mosquito. Vicious. They had to build under nets. It was one of the true great wonders of the world. As he said, one of the 9 wonders of the world. No, it was one of the 7. It happened a little while ago, It says 9 wonders of the world. You could make 9 wonders. He would have been better off if he stuck with the 9 and just said, "Yeah, I think it's 9.
Well, if they're familiar, some who have known him for years say they notice a change. He's competing at the level he was competing at 8 years ago. No question about it. He's not competing. Yeah. Said Anthony Scaramucci, a former Trump ally who has endorsed Ms. Harris. He's lost a step. He's lost an ability to put powerful sentences together. You can like Trump or hate Trump, but he's been a very effective. He's a very effective communicator. Mr. Scaramucci continued, but now he added. The word salad buffet on the Trump campaign is being offered at a discount. You can eat all you can eat, but it's a discount. But it's at a discount. Sarah Matthews, who is Mr. Trump's deputy press secretary until breaking with him over the January 6, 2021 attack, said the former president had lost his fastball. I don't think anyone would ever say Trump is the most polished speaker, but his more recent speeches do seem to be more incoherent, and he's rambling even more so, and he's had some pretty noticeable moments of confusion, she said. When he was running against Biden, maybe didn't stand out as much. Mr. Trump dismisses any concerns and insists that he passed cognitive test. I go for 2 hours without teleprompters, and if I say one word slightly out, they say he's cognitively impaired. He complained at a recent rally. He calls his meandering style the weave, and asserts that it's a intentional and brilliant communication strategy.
2 hours with... They all have cameras. See, every one of you has a camera. If I blow it up here, though, they take a perfect, brilliant, beautiful statement that I make. I go for 2 hours without teleprompters. And if I say one word
What's up, Malibu
slightly
County?
out, they say he's cognitively impaired.
True. Stephen Chung, the campaign communications director, called Mr. Trump the strongest and most capable candidate and dismissed suggestions that he diminished with age. President Trump has more energy and more stamina than anyone in politics and is the smartest leader in the country this country's ever seen, he said in a statement. The former president has not been hobbled politically by his age as much as Mr. Biden was, in part because the incumbent comes across as physically frail. Mr. Trump still exudes energy. Jesus. You talking about even a dictator in day one statement yesterday? The age thing is fake. I bet it is. Smartest leader the country ever seen, he said in a statement. The former president has not been hobbled politically by his age. Read that. Doing well. But his campaign refused to release medical records, instead simply pointing to a one-page letter released in July by his former White House doctor reporting Mr. Trump was doing well after being grazed by a bullet in an assassination attempt. How much his rambling discourse, what some experts call tangentality, okay, well, give me a pronunciation. Whatever. Can be attributed to age as the subject of some debate. Mr. Trump has always had a distinctive speaking style that entertained and captivated supporters, even as critics called him out as detached from reality. Indeed, questions have been raised about Mr. Trump's mental fitness for years. John F. Kelly, the second White House chief of staff, was so convinced that Mr. Trump was psychologically unbalanced that he bought a book called The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump, written by 27 mental health professionals to try to understand this boss better. As it was, Mr. Kelly came out to refer to Mr. Trump's White House as crazy town. Awesome, dude. Some of Mr. Trump's cabinet secretaries have had a running debate over whether the president was crazy, as one of them put it in interviews after leaving office, and merely someone who promoted crazy ideas. There are multiple conversations about whether the 25th Amendment disability clause should be invoked to remove him from office, although the idea never went far. His own estranged niece, Mary L. Trump, a clinical psychologist, wrote a book identifying disorders she believed he has. Mr. Trump bristled at such talk, insisting he was a very stable genius. True. It's a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy theory to look at videos of Trump rambling and question if he's mentally confident when he's how old is he? 78. If you want to chat with me live, sub here or go to nonfun420 on Twitch or Kick via the links below. Once again, please like and sub to help with the algorithm, and consider sending a donation through YouTube Super Thanks to directly support me, and I'll make sure to reply to any question you ask. See you guys next time.